KZN, specifically the eThekwini Municipality. That's where we actually take you right now. Karinda Jagmohan is our reporter watching things there. Karinda, the ANC seemingly worried about what could happen in Johannesburg. How worried are they about eThekwini Municipality? That's one of the metros, in fact the only metro in KZN, where it was said in the lead up to the elections that the ANC may have a lot to worry in terms of retaining that municipality.
Yes, indeed, they do have a cause for concern here with regards to the eThekwini municipality. In fact, results are yet to come through for this metro municipality. It's one of the only metros in the country where we're not seeing results on the IEC dashboard. A cause for concern there. And we understand some of the issues are because there are issues where party agents have concerns about how ballots, how votes are being counted currently. So results are still trickling in. When you look at the dashboard on the IEC website, you see KZN is still lacking in terms of vote counts currently. But what is interesting here is that KZN is the only province where you're seeing some IFP numbers, because it is, of course, an IFP stronghold. And with regards to that, I'm joined by Naren Singh. He is from the IFP. Mr. Singh, thank you for speaking to us. Firstly, votership yesterday, we saw a low turnout with regards to voters at our polling stations. What are the cause for concerns you have with regards to how voting went yesterday?
Well, good morning, Karinda. Thank you for having me, and good morning to your viewers. Well, I think generally the voter turnout is a large disappointment for all of us in the country, and not only as a political party. And I think a serious debrief needs to be done after this, because the voter apathy among South Africans and their lack of trust in governance and political parties is something that is concerning. And I think all of us have a responsibility collectively to make sure that we engender this trust in the people of South Africa and in the people of KwaZulu-Natal. As far as KwaZulu-Natal is concerned, we are reasonably satisfied so far with the kind of results that are coming in. It's a positive sign for us in many areas. We are increasing our numbers. We are actually concerned that the IEC cannot crown itself in glory. We've had a number of incidences in a number of areas where voting stations opened late. The scanners were not picking up people. People were turned away from voting. And I don't think the IEC was at all helpful. Perhaps at a national level we hear very nice words being said about how well prepared they are. But I think at local level, many of those IEC officials needed more training and more empathy when dealing with the voters that came to their stations. Other than that, I think the violence that marred the elections in some of the areas, in Mzinto, in Mbumbulu, up in Mpumalanga, here in KwaZulu-Natal, are things, and up north as well, are things that we really need to look at. One would have thought that political maturity would be the order of the day 27 years after democracy. But it still seems that we're having these pockets of violence in many parts, and that's something that we really got to deal with as a collective.
Now, with regards to, I see the IFP is gaining traction, especially in northern parts of the province. It is the stronghold for the party. But with regards to the eThekwini municipality, this is, the KZN's metro and economic hub. How is the party faring here? What are you hearing on the ground so far?
Well, results are trickling in, as you quite correctly said. But I could say for the own ward where I reside, Ward 99, it has always been an ANC ward by far, and then the DA, and then the IFP. But we were so close this time as the IFP to the ANC. And, that's a good thing for us. I mean, we were pleasantly surprised. We put in a lot of hard work. But then again, you get the whole issue of independence. And I think there were independents that arose out of factions within all political parties. And the IFP was not spared. Because in my own area, an independent got 800 votes in a particular voting ward. And we lost by 300 for the candidate that was chosen. So, these are the things that affected results as well.
Mr. Naren Singh, thank you so much for speaking to us. So this is just some reflection with regards to how the IFP is faring. It is, of course, a stronghold in the province, one of their only strongholds, rather, in the country. It's here in KwaZulu-Natal. But going forward as well, I'm also seeing that in the southern part of the country, the EFF also gaining traction there. But again, I must tell you, the issue here is that KZN votes are coming in very, very slowly. This is one of the provinces where we have seen trouble at polling stations yesterday, over the weekend. So it's yet to see how political parties, like we saw the IFP now, is worried about how the IEC has handled the situation in KZN and how this will impact votes coming in. But of course, we'll be bringing you more updates from the IEC ROC in KZN and across the country, rather, over the next few hours over the course of the day. Back to you.
Very interesting words there from Naren Singh from the IFP, saying that the IEC should have taken more time to train its officials, particularly in far-flung areas.